How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Arkham Horror the card game video. For today's video, we're going to be opening up the latest expansion set, the Innsmouth Conspiracy. In today's video, we're going to be opening up this entire box. As you can see, it is currently sealed. I have not actually looked at any of the cards myself. I have checked out some of the new Investigators. I actually think they're really cool, but I've not looked at any of the other player cards. So for today's video, we're just going to be opening this up, take a look at some of the new components, take a look at some of the new Investigators, look at all of the new player cards, but we will not be going over any of the scenario stuff because I know I don't want to be spoiled for this game, so I don't want you to be spoiled for this game either, especially this particular scenario, because I think Innsmouth is a really cool and, it's a very classic Lovecraftian setting. Just keep in mind that there may be some minor spoilers here and there as I kind of move the cards aside. You're probably going to see a little bit of them, but we're not going to go into them in detail. Like I said, I don't want to spoil myself on them, and I don't want to spoil you on them either, but we will check out all of the excellent new player cards and all the new components, because there are some new components. So we're going to talk about some of the gameplay mechanics, because we're going to look at the new Investigators, and they have some of the new mechanics. There's some new stuff you can add to the Chaos Bag, for example. So without further ado, let's open this up and take a look at the Innsmouth Conspiracy.
So before we crack into this, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the box here. Love the artwork here. I wonder if this card is probably going to appear on a story or treachery card or something like that. You can kind of read the blurb here if you would like, but I can't wait to just get into this. You can also scan this. I don't know if it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work, but in any case, let's just actually open this up. Alrighty, cut the shrink wrap just a bit, just a tad, just enough to get there we go. Now the matte finish is blocking a lot of the glare here. You gotta get a better look at the back. Have some characters here that we've seen before if you bought some of the books, actually. Dexter Drake is one of the characters that appeared in the most recent book, I believe. Yeah, so here, I'm just gonna dump all this stuff out, yeet it right onto the table. Alright, so, in addition to the cards, we also have this punch-out sheet. Anything else in here? I don't think so. I think we've got everything. All right, so let's compartmentalize this just a little bit. Let's take all of the player cards and all the, just the cards in general. We'll kind of set those off to the side, including, oh, dude, it's Silas Marsh, another character that we've seen before. This is the all the new tokens, actually. You can see some of the key tokens. I think this is Rising Tide or Water, and then we also have our Holy tokens and the Curse tokens. I think that's what they are called, but I'm not entirely sure. We're not going to punch these out right now. Oh, dude, interesting. So you can't really tell which key is there. Interesting. I wonder if kind of hiding which key it is going to be a mechanic. I don't know yet. So we're just going to kind of set this to the side. There's no, point in punching this out today. Here is the Innsmouth Conspiracy campaign guide, of course. Like I said, we're not going to go into spoiler territory, but it does kind of talk about the keys here, as well as those flood tokens. Keys have no inherent game effect. Interesting. So we're not really going to cover this right now. If you buy this, you can look at this in your own time. We're really going to talk about the cards in today's video because, like I said, don't really want to spoil this too much, and I don't want to spoil it for me. Though it does go over the flood tokens as well as the bless and curse tokens here, as well as the campaign setup. I don't consider that a spoiler. It's just whatever, tokens you're going to set up for the difficulty. Not really a spoiler, as well as this seal mechanic, which I think can be very interesting. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go and look at the actual cards. So these are all of our little investigator icons or investigator tokens, whatever you want to call them. The little pieces that we move around on the game board as we progress. This is Sister Mary or something. I don't remember her name. We'll go over them as we see them. Oh, I really like her. She's kind of like the student. I'm not sure who this character is. That is definitely Dexter Drake, and that is definitely Silas Marsh. So I'm familiar with a couple of these characters. I'm not sure who this is. She's probably the Guardian, if I had to guess. And finally, here are all of the cards. This one looks like it's all of the player cards, so we will definitely be looking at these. However, I believe these ones are all of the encounter cards and, scenario story cards. I will be opening these up. I'm not going to show it on screen, but if there are any player cards mixed in here, I'll kind of, set them aside so we can actually look at them. So I'm actually really glad I opened these up because that's where all of the investigators were. So we're going to take a look at the investigators as well as some of the new added basic weaknesses, including one of the ones that was inspired by the events of Arkham Knight's 2018 Day of Reckoning. Looks like it was a pretty rough time, as well as this really interesting card that is not part of the scenario. It's just kind of a it kind of plays with some of the new mechanics here. So actually, let's look at this one first, since I was already talking about it. It's called Tempt Fate. It is an event card with a 0 cost. It does have the little question mark skill symbol. Tempt Fate. Fortune, Blessed, Cursed. Fast. Play during any squiggly window. It's a fast window there. Add 3 Curse tokens to the cast bag, then add 3 Bless tokens to the cast bag, and draw a card. So what do those tokens do? Curse tokens are a -2 modifier, and then Bless tokens are a +2 modifier. And when you draw them from the cast bag, you kind of set them aside. They don't go back into the cast bag. They're just kind of gone for good. So very, very interesting, actually. Interesting card. I'll probably play around with this. I think it's kind of fun. It also immediately replaces itself. So yeah, let's start talking about... let's go over the investigators after these. These are going to be the easier ones. So here we have some basic weaknesses. This is a humanoid cultist cursed weakness, accursed follower. So it's got 2 strength, 2 health, and then 2 movement, or 2 evasion, or whatever you want to call it. Spawn, location furthest from you, aloof. At the beginning of the enemy phase, add 1 curse token to the chaos bag. Okay, I can see why it's really bad. So you definitely want to go seek them out and destroy them. Otherwise, they're going to, add a bunch of curse tokens to the chaos bag. By the way, you can only add 10 curse or blessed tokens to the chaos bag total. So you can't have like 30 of them. You can't have more than 10. So we got 2 of those. Now, that is a basic weakness, so you can kind of pick this as one of your random basic weaknesses when you're starting. Dread Curse. Yo, this looks awesome. Look at the art, dude. It's a curse. Revelation, add 5 curse tokens to the chaos bag. So yeah, these are going to be definitely like all like curse token themed. And then of course the one that was designed and inspired by the events of Arkham Knight's 2018 Day of Reckoning. End Times, Revelation, attach Day of Reckoning to the current agenda, then search the Chaos Bag for a star token and seal it on the Day of Reckoning. Yo, so basically that seal means it'll kind of stay on here until this gets removed, which is kind of a big deal. You really want your star token in the Chaos Bag, so it'll just kind of sit on this card until you advance the current agenda, in which case, this gets discarded, and then that token will go back into the Chaos Bag. Very interesting. Very, very interesting weaknesses here. Some of them make a lot of sense, though, because they are playing with the some of the new mechanics here. So let's talk about the investigators. Here we have Sister Mary, the nun. She's got 4, 2, 3, and 3, so very good at the mind checks. Not very good at investigating. Believer, Blessed. During setup, add 2 Blessed tokens to the Chaos Bag. So you just start the game with that. That's pretty good. When the round ends, add a Blessed token to the Chaos Bag. Okay, so she just keeps, pumping up. She seems like a really good support character, actually. Oh, she's a Guardian, too. Kind of a low attack for Guardian. Star effect, +1 if you succeed, add a Blessed token to the Chaos Bag. So she's all about that Blessed token. Pretty low health for a Guardian, but decently high, sanity stat. And deck size, 30 deck building options, Guardians, 0 to 5, Neutral 0 to 5, and Mystic cards. Oh, interesting. 0 to 2. And then deck building requirements, she has Guardian Angel and Crisis of Faith, plus a random basic weakness, and then there's some lore. We're not going to go over the lore. She's all about the Blessed tokens. Here we have Amanda Sharp, and I really remember liking this character a lot. So she is the student. It's 2s across the board. All right. She says Force. At the start of the investigation phase, draw a card. Yo, I like that already. Discard the card beneath Amanda Sharp. Choose a card from your hand and place it beneath her. Okay, so you're basically going to draw an extra card, but you have to put a card from your hand underneath her. At the start of a skill test you're performing, commit the card beneath Amanda Sharp if able. Do not discard it when it ends. Yo, that's super good. That's actually really, really good. Alright, so I guess you want a lot of cards with high skills on them, like high skill symbols. And then her star effect is +0 for the test. You may double the number of skill icons on the card beneath Amanda Sharp. I like her a lot. She's going to be a very skill-intensive deck. Deck size 30, Seeker cards 0 to 5, Neutral 0 to 5, Practice cards 0 to 3. Ooh, interesting. So you can just have any card that has that practiced affix 0 to 3. Deck building requisites, Obscure Studies, Whispers from the Deep, and 1 random basic weakness, as well as some flavor text. I think she's really cool. If I'm going to build a Seeker, this one might be one of the next ones I want to build. I'm not sure. I want to build Stella Clark next from the Investigator starter decks, but I do like Amanda Sharp. Also, very pretty artwork there. Next we have Trish Scarborough, the Spy. Really cool. So she got 2/4, 2/4. So she's really good at investigating and evading. Not so good at fighting or, getting out of tricky mind challenges. After you discover one or more clues at a location with an enemy, either discover one additional clue at that location or automatically evade that enemy. Effect +2. If this is an investigation, you may choose any revealed location you are now investigating as though you were investigating that location instead. Very interesting, and kind of like a baseline health. I didn't kind of talk about this, but Amanda's got 7-7, which is also fairly baseline. She's got 8 and 6. Let's go to her deck restrictions. So she's deck size 30, deck building options, rogue 0 to 5, neutral 0 to 5, and seeker 0 to 2. So this is kind of like a very investigation heavy seeker, or a very investigation heavy rogue card. And then she also gets in the shadows, shadow agents, and a random basic weakness. I like it. And then next up we have Dexter Drake. He's a sorcerer veteran, the magician. We got 5, 2, 3, and 2. Pretty high attack actually for a mystic card. It says during your turn, discard an asset you control. Play an asset with a different title from your hand, reducing its cost by 1. Limit once per round. So we can like poof something out and then poof something in. It's reduced by 1. I wonder if you want to include a lot of cards that cost 1 in your deck, so you can poof them out and poof them back in for free. The star effect +2. You may return an asset from your play area to your hand and draw a card. And then his deck building restrictions: size 30, mystics 0 to 5, rogue 0 to 2. That makes sense. And neutral 0 to 5. And then he also starts with showmanship, occult, scraps, and 1 basic random weakness. And there is a novel based on this character, or rather a novella. And then of course we have Silas Marsh, the Sailor Drifter. After you reveal a chaos token during a skill test you're performing, return a skill committed to that test to your hand, limit once per round. That's really good, dude. That's really good. So you can return that skill back to your hand. I don't think it affects it, but you can see if you needed it or not. So you can always commit like a big card to the skill test, and then you're like, oh, I don't need it. I already won with the token. Bring it back to your hand. Pretty good. Star effect 0. You may commit a skill from your discard pile to this test. After this test ends, return that skill to your hand instead of discarding it. That's pretty good too, actually. 9 health and 5. I didn't look at Dexter here. He's got a 6 and 8 down there. 9 is pretty. He's pretty beefy, dude. Definitely want to fight with Silas Marsh here. Deck building size 30, survivor 0 to 5, neutral 0 to 5, and innate 0 to 2. So he's just kind of like innately skilled. He starts with a sea change harpoon, Silas's net, siren call, and 1 basic random weakness. So he starts with 3 extra cards. So sea change harpoon, Silas's net, and siren call. Well, that's pretty sweet. I actually like these. Out of the ones that I would like to play the most, I definitely like Amanda Sharp. I think Sister Mary could be a really cool support character because, you know, she's just going to be adding so much stuff to the bag, though her critical skills, I would say, aren't great. Fighting and investigating. Those are like the best skills in the game, the fighting and the investigating. So out of all these characters, I mean, Trish is really good at investigating. Could be a really good like investigation rogue option if you don't want to play a seeker. Though I think Amanda Sharp also has some pretty cool like deck building stuff going on there. I like it. All right, and so here we have all of the rest of the player cards. Oh, here's the other Tempt Fate. Weird that they put it like one of them in that bundle with those other cards, and then one of them here. So let's just add that here. It's kind of weird that they put 2. So in any case, we'll put this back over here. Like I said, it's not part of the campaign or anything. It's just a little bonus that you get. So this is Guardian Angel. This is the Sister Mary deck. Hold on, let's kind of set these aside so we can look at these maybe one at a time. So Guardian Angel, Asset 2, has these skill icons. Sister Mary deck only. Guardian Angel may be assigned damage dealt to other investigators at your location and connecting locations. When any amount of damage is assigned to Guardian Angel, add that many Blessed tokens to the Chaos bag. And then it has a 3 here. It's a Ritual Blessed. Doesn't take up any slots, though. So it's kind of just like a free 3 health. Beautiful artwork, by the way. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty tanky, pretty good. It also helps, defend other players at your location too, which is also pretty good. And connecting locations. I just saw that. So your location and connecting locations. That's actually quite good. Next up, we have Sister Mary's weakness. Crisis of Faith, Madness, Revelation. For each Blessed token in the Chaos bag, you must either replace it with a Curse token or take a Horror. Oh, dude. So it turns all your blesses into horror. That makes sense. Or, I mean, or curses. So you can either take horror or take the curse tokens. Yeah, I mean, that seems real bad. Seems real bad. Next up, we have Obscure Studies. This is Amanda Sharp. Cost 0. Love it already. 3 question marks. Also love it. Fast. I mean, I like this card all around. It's fast, too. Play when you initiate a skill test. Return the card beneath Amanda Sharp to your hand and place Obscure Studies beneath her. Yo. This is really good for the Amanda Sharp deck. I mean, obviously, it's her signature card, but it is quite good. Next up, we have Whispers from the Deep. Beautiful artwork, dude. She's kind of like sinking into the abyss. You can kind of see some like buildings and stuff in the background. Yo, really cool. So this one is a skill with a question mark here, a bad question mark. It says Curse. This skill's icons subtract from your skill value instead of adding to it. That's what I meant by a bad skill icon, so it's a negative. When choosing a card to place beneath Amanda Sharp, if Whispers from the Abyss is in your hand, you must choose it. Okay, so basically, it's kind of wrecks one of your turns. It goes beneath Amanda Sharp, and then the next turn you can kind of put another card underneath. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. These cards both really, really synergize with her abilities. So next up we have In the Shadows. This is a Trish Scarborough card. Whoa, look at those icons, dude. Double feet, double question mark. 0 cost. Fast, also really good. Play after your turn begins. Disengage from each enemy engage with you. That's quite good. Until end of the round, enemies cannot engage with you, and you cannot deal damage to enemies. All right, so you kind of vanish, hit your escape button, poof out of existence, but cost 0. It's quite good. It's quite good. Next up, we have Shadow Agents. This is Trish's weakness, her signature weakness. So it's got 3, 3, and 5. Ooh, that 5 is a little rough. It says Humanoid Cultist. While Shadow Agents is engaged with you, you cannot discover clues except by investigating. Okay, so you can't use any like tricky cards to get clues. Forest after Shadow Agents is evaded, discard it. So you can do like a really powerful, a really like, good evade and get rid of it, or you can kind of hit it 3 times. Also has 2 damage on there. That's not too bad. We have Showmanship. This is the Dexter Drake signature card. Costs 1 to play. It's an asset. It's a talent. Ooh, it's a talent. It has all of these icons here. It says, after an asset enters play under your control, until the end of the round, you get a +2 to each of your skills while resolving a triggered ability on that asset. So you definitely want to play assets that have triggered abilities on them then, if you want to make use of Showmanship. Be very curious to see what the Dexter Drake's decks look like. And then here is his weakness, Occult Scraps. Asset for 0. It's a weakness item. It cannot be played using a play action. While Occult Scraps is in your hand, you get -2. While it's in play, you get -1. Gross. This card is gross. So it says it cannot be played using a play action, which means you have to put it into play using his ability, which is kind of rough. And then you want to get rid of it again. So you have -2 while it's in your hand, -2 to your mind stat, and then -1 while it's in play, and then you really want to get rid of it. Next up, we have the Sea Change Harpoon. This is the Silas Marsh, or one of his signature cards. It's a 3-cost asset with a fist and a question mark. It's a one-handed melee weapon. It says fight. You get +1 fight for this attack. If you committed 1 or more skills to this test, this attack deals +1 damage. Okay, so that's not too bad. When the skill test ends, you may return Sea Change Harpoon to your hand and return all of the committed skills to your hand instead of discarding them. But it costs 3 to play. This seems like a very interesting card. So you kind of like can chuck the harpoon and then go retrieve the harpoon. But if you do, you have to play it again. But you get your skills back. Interesting card. Next up is Silas's Net, another Silas Marsh signature card. It's got this, just a deep one in his net. It's an asset for 2. It's another one-handed item. It says evade. You get +1 foot for this evasion attempt. If you succeed and you committed 1 or more skills to the test, you may automatically evade another enemy engaged with you. Yo, that's pretty good. When this skill test ends, you may return Silas's Net to your hand to return all of your committed skills to your hand instead of discarding them. So kind of the same mechanic with the harpoon. If you want to get your skills back, you can return them all to your hand, but then you have to play them again. It's not too bad. And then his weakness is the Siren Call. Curse. Revelation. Put it into play in your threat area. As an addition cost to commit one or more card to a skill test, you must pay 1 resource for each matching skill icon those cards have. Gross. And then double action, discard it. Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty bad, especially if you're building your deck to have a lot of skills. So you definitely want to use your double action to get rid of this. It's pretty rough. So yeah, those are all of the signature weaknesses and strengths for all of the characters. They really do kind of play in with the mechanics that the characters have, which makes a lot of sense. And I always like putting their weaknesses and whatnot with the characters, so you don't have to go like searching for them later. So it's just something that I do when I sort through all of the cards. I like to keep all of the stuff together. I mean, it makes sense, right? All right, and now we're going to go over the rest of the player cards, kind of like the meat of this expansion, to be honest, other than, you know, the scenarios themselves. So Book of Psalms, asset for 3. It's a tome, one-handed, uses 4 secrets. Spend a secret, heal 1 horror from an investigator location, add 2 blessed tokens to the chaos bag. The fact that it's a tome is pretty good, but it is a guardian card. We have Blessed Blade, item weapon melee blessed. Okay, I can see a theme here. Costs 3, it's a single-handed weapon. If Blessed Blade is ready, fight. You get +1 for this attack. If a blessed or cursed or blessed or star token is revealed during this attack deals +1 damage. Before revealing chaos tokens for this attack, you may exhaust it to add a token to the bag. Ah, very interesting. Not too bad. I mean, a lot of these cards are playing around with some of the new mechanics, which makes a lot of sense. We have Rite of Sanctification, so this does take up a ritual slot, or rather this, arcane slot, whatever you want to call it. Asset for 0 has a book value. It says seal up to 5 blessed tokens. If Rite of Sanctification has no token seal on it, discard it. Okay. When an investigator at your location plays a card, exhaust it, and release a chaos token sealed on it, reduce the cost of that card by 2. So you can kind of build up a lot of blessed tokens in the bag, and then seal them all with the Rite of Sanctification, and then use the Rite to reduce the cost of cards. But it's like for any's. This is when an investigator at your location, so it's not just you. I think this card's really good. Next up, we have Hand of Fate. This is a spell, blessed. It's an event, costs 3. Fast. I like that. I like fast cards. Play when an enemy attacked an investigator at your location. Cancel that attack. Okay, I like this. Then add blessed tokens to the chaos bag equal to the attacking enemy's total combined damage and horror values. Dude, that's pretty sweet. It cancels any attack. Not just attacks by like non-elites. It can cancel like a Yogg Sothoth attack, and you just bit like a giant fistful of blessed tokens. I think it's pretty good too. Next up, we have the Cryptographic Cipher, asset for 3. It's an item tool, one hand. Uses 3 secrets. You can exhaust it using a quick fast action. Exhaust Cryptographic Cipher and spend a secret. Investigate. Your location gains +1 shroud for the investigation. Okay, why would you want to do that? Exhaust Cryptographic Cipher and spend a secret. Investigate. Your location gets -2 shroud for this investigation. Okay, I see. So you can kind of get free investigations using the Cryptographic Cipher because it just, it's a squiggly action, so it doesn't take up one of your actions for the round. But it's harder to get it because it has that +1 shroud. Or you can exhaust it and get and spend an action. This arrow means you are spending an action to have it like lowered, the shroud lowered by 2. It's a very interesting card. I do like this being able to let you take multiple investigation actions in a turn and just making the shroud higher. Not too bad. I actually like this card quite a bit. I think pointed versions of this card would be pretty good. Next up, we have Cryptic Grimoire. This is a one-hand item tome occult. Costs 3. You can do an action to add a curse token to the bag. Okay. And then you can do an action if there are 10 curse tokens in the chaos bag. You're having a bad day. Discard Cryptic Grimoire. Record in your campaign log that you have translated the grimoire. Replace 5 of the curse tokens with blessed tokens. So there's got to be a payoff on this later. There's got to be a card later that comes out in this expansion cycle that does something with this. It better be awesome. It better be awesome. Next up is Deep Knowledge. Costs 0, like that already. Has a mind and a book. Insight, Cursed. As an additional cost to play Deep Knowledge, add 2 curse tokens to the Chaos bag. Okay. Investigators at your location, draw a combined total of 3 cards. Dude, for 0. That's really good. But you have to deal with the curse tokens. I don't know. I like it. I like it. Plan of action. So this is a skill. It's a practice skill. It has a question mark, so that's all right. It's just a single question mark, though. If this skill test is during or before the first action of the turn, plan of action also gains a mind and a foot. If this skill test is between the first and third actions, draw a card if it succeeds. If this skill test is during or after the third action of this turn, it gains a fist and a book. Weird. Super weird card. I like it, though. I think this would be really cool in a like min deck, or any deck that really wants a lot of like skill cards that can, you know, use this. We got a 25 automatic, costs 4. Oof, that's kind of a lot. It has an evasion, like a little foot symbol. It's a illicit firearm. Uses 4 ammo. It's fast. That's pretty good, actually. So you can do an action, spend an ammo, fight. If the attacked enemy is exhausted, you get +2 and deal 1 damage for this attack, or deal +1 damage. Okay, so this is a weapon that you have for a deck that really wants to evade enemies. So you can evade the enemy, exhaust them, and then, you know, shoot them while they're down. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Next up is Dark Ritual. 1 black mana, add 3 black mana to your mana pool. No. This is an asset that costs 1. Ritual Cursed. Seal up to 5 cursed tokens. Oh, interesting. Force. At the end of the Mythos phase, you must either spend 1 resource or discard Dark Ritual. So you can kind of mitigate all of your curse tokens with this Dark Ritual. We have Obfuscation, asset for 2 spell. Also takes up, you know, one of these slots down here. Fast, I like that. Uses 3 charges. When an enemy makes an attack of opportunity against you, spend 1 charge, cancel that attack. Dude, that's sweet. So you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff if an enemy's on you. You can have this on the field, or if you have this on the field already, and then cancel all the attacks of opportunity against you. Ooh, Faustian Bargain. Oh, it's got the man with the red gloves. So it's a Pact Cursed. It's an event that costs 0. As an additional cost to play Faustian Bargain, add 2 curse tokens to the Chaos bag. Okay, it's very similar to that other card that lets us draw 3 cards. Investigators at your location gain a total of 5 resources distributed as you wish. Okay, it is very similar. So instead of drawing 3 cards, we get 5 resources. I think cards are better than resources, but it's still not bad. Still very interesting. You can kind of go with like a, you know, curse token style deck. The Sword Cane, yo, awesome. So it's an item, relic, weapon, melee, costs a, you know, has a hand, or rather takes up a hand slot. Asset costs 2. So it says playing Sword Cane does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Okay, that's really cool. It has a reaction. After Sword Cane enters play, immediately trigger its use ability without paying its cost. Okay, what's its use ability? Exhaust Sword Cane, fight/evade. You may use your mind in place of your fight or feat for this attack or evasion tab. Dude, this card is super good for the what do you call it? The Mystic decks. I can't believe I forgot Mystic, because one of the big problems I have with Mystic decks is if you don't get your like damage dealing spell, you kind of suck. Rather, you can't really like contribute to, you know, killing enemies. But this card is another one that's repeatable, and you can immediately play it. Doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity, and immediately attack when you do play it. Pretty good. This is pretty good. I like this card a lot, and also you can evade with it too. I like Sword Cane. I'm probably going to be playing this in almost every one of my Mystic decks. I think it's really, really good. Like, actually really, really good. Next up, we have Tides of Fate. Spell Blessed. It's a 1-cost event. It says fast, which, once again, I really like. Play during any fast window or at the start of a round. Replace all curse tokens in the Chaos bag with an equal number of blessed tokens. At the end of the round, replace all blessed tokens in the Chaos bag with an equal number of curse tokens. Very interesting. So you can kind of like make it all blessed for 1 turn only. Next up, we have Ward of Radiance. 0-cost event, Insight Blessed, fast. Once again, I love these fast cards. Play when an investigator at your location draws a non-weakness treachery card. Reveal 5 random tokens from the Chaos bag. If any blessed or cursed or blessed or star token is revealed, cancel that treachery card's revelation effect. Okay, this seems really good. So this is something you want to put into a deck that generates a lot of blessed tokens, basically. Otherwise, it's going to do nothing. Just revealing a star token, good luck with that. But, you know, being able to reveal a bunch of, you're putting a bunch of blessed tokens in there highly increases your odds of drawing one. I think this card's really good for a blessed themed deck. Next up is Promise of Power. Dude, look at all those freaking question marks. Alright, so what does this do? It's a skill. After you commit Promise of Power to a skill test, add 1 curse token to the cast bag if you cannot take 2 horror. I like it. I think it's good. I mean, just adding a curse token to there is bad, but a -2, you know, sometimes -2 is not as bad as you think. So I think this card's really good. Having that 4, dude, that 4 question marks is quite good. I like this card a lot. Like, I'll probably be playing with this a lot. Next up is Token of Faith. Item Charm takes up like a relic slot. Costs 2 to play. Reaction: after a skill test ends with 1 or more curse or tentacle tokens are revealed, exhaust Token of Faith, add that many blessed tokens to the bag. So it doesn't actually cancel that stuff, but you kind of get some blessed tokens. I don't know. I don't know how much I like this card. It's okay. You can use it multiple times. Keep Faith. Fortune Blessed. Event for 2. Fast. Play during any fast window. Add 4 blessed tokens to the chaos bag. Alright. I mean, that's pretty simple. Just add a bunch of blessed tokens. If you want to do like a blessed style deck, there you go. Yo, Predestined. Skill. Max 1 committed per skill test. It's a Fortune Blessed, by the way. You may commit Predestined to any type of test. Okay. If the test fails, add either 2 blessed to the bag or remove 2 curse from the bag. So it's just kind of a way to add more blessed tokens without having to pay any resources, or maybe remove curse tokens from the cast bag. Interesting. And then finally we have Beloved. So it's an innate blessed. It's a skill. Has these icons here. It says, if a blessed token is revealed during this test, you may remove Beloved from the game to replace that token's effects with the following. You automatically succeed? Dude, you do not reveal another token. Return this token to the cast bag after the test ends. Okay, this is slam dunk for this whole blessed theme. If you're going with the blessed theme, you need Beloved, because just getting an automatic success is so good. There's some situations you play, if you've played a lot of Arkham, there's some situations you play where you cannot win. Like, you cannot succeed. Your stats are too bad, or your items got removed, or whatever happened. It's just like the odds are so against you sometimes, especially if you're playing on harder difficulties. This seems super good if you're playing the Blessed deck. So if you're playing the Blessed deck, you should be playing Beloved, I think. And that was our quick unboxing, not so quick unboxing, of the Innsmouth Conspiracy expansion for Arkham Horror the card game. I think this expansion is really cool. It shakes things up quite a bit, adds a lot of new mechanics, some very interesting new investigators, and, you know, we got some investigators that were previously kind of hard to find if you have not purchased the novellas, like Dexter Drake and Silas Marsh here. But you got these like brand new curse and bless mechanics. There's those new flood tokens that I haven't really delved into yet because that's part of the campaign. I think this is definitely worth picking up if you are a fan of Arkham Horror the card game, especially if you have a lot of cards already and you've already played through some campaigns. This might not be a good first campaign. It might be a good like second or third campaign you play. Or maybe it could be a good first campaign you play if you have the core set, you play through the core set, and you have some of those Investigator starter decks I made a video on earlier. So if you have some of those and you've already played through the core set, then this one might be a really good one if you want to do some like advanced level stuff. If you don't want to do advanced level stuff, maybe stick with something like Dunwich or Carcosa. But if you're looking for something kind of spicy, or if you've kind of played everything already, I would highly recommend this. This is really cool. I'm actually really excited to get into this. Really excited to see what those keys and all of those flood tokens do, and I'm pretty excited to play with some of these new investigators, particularly Amanda Sharp. She seems really interesting. And after I saw all of those like Bless synergy stuff, Sister Mary could be very interesting too. What was her? It was Mystic cards. So it was Mystic and Guardian. So you can't include all of the dank stuff. So you can't have Beloved in her deck, for example. But I still think you can make a really very interesting and cool blessed style deck. But I digress. If you like the video, then leave a like, comment, maybe subscribe, maybe check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me directly. But in any case, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time for some Arkham Horror content, possibly some gameplay for the Innsmouth Conspiracy. We'll see you then.